was born out of necessity. Its origin is lost, therefore we can call it primordial. We in India have a very long tradition of weaving. When the Greek historian Herodotus came to India, he was amazed to see cotton being woven and people wearing fabrics of wool, of silk, and of cotton. Ajanta fresco shows that people were wearing patterned clothes which could be both printed or woven. Then, of course, we have the birds who were weaving much before men did. Our baskets resemble in some way the nests of a bird, and the structure of the basket resembles that of the cloth that we wear. Namely, the radiating ribs of the basket is very similar to the warp of the cloth, and the other finer cane is akin to the weft of the cloth. This, of course, was done in the past. Now we have many different kinds of cloth. At one time, when weaving was, or when the cloth was a necessity, every household had a charkha to spin, wets to dye the cloth, and of course a loom, in which the young and old of the house participated. At that time, weaving was a necessity and not a vanity as it is today. Then, of course, with the coming of the Industrial Revolution and promotion of faster ways of doing things, we lost this activity completely. Then came Gandhiji. He saw this mischief and corrected it. He introduced to us the khadi. Khadi of those days is very much different from what it is now. Today's khadi might not recognize the khadi that was worn by the Dandi marchers. Of course, like all things, we undergo a change. Little by little, things come in for the machine use and faster ways of doing things with a lot of shortcuts and a lot of compromises. In works of art, there can be no compromise. Where there is compromise, sooner or later, it affects the quality, and we start ending up with tinsels. Here today we are going to talk with a man who started in 1940s, somewhere in 40s, at Gurukul Kangri, where some of the nationalist movement had found its way. And later on, this man, Rajan, moved into School of Painting, where he developed another aspect. Then finally he ends up in the course of weaving. He did not know when he actually started weaving. He weaves cloth, he weaves wall hangings, screens, he weaves pitchwise, he weaves tapestry from miniatures of the past, and many other places. He weaves traditional weaving as well as modern weaving. Today we will talk to him. So Rajan, you started your career as a student, of course, at Gurukul Kangri.
Yeah, I started my career.
When was
education,
that?
Maybe around 42, 43.
40.
I joined Gurukul Kangri, Haridwar, and started my education from there. Gurukul, those days, because of national movements, Gurukul was fully charged and aware as a center of such movements, because Gurukul was started by Swami Shuddhananji, who was a great nationalist and a great man, great social reformer also. So Gurukul, that was the days Gurukul had lots of spirit. Every student used to think that he is going to do something for the nation. So anyway, that was a very beautiful time. And Gurukul, because of national movements, because of Gandhi's everywhere his name and his work, so we were doing spinning also there. All students were doing spinning at least 40 minutes every college day, school day, and we got an opportunity to learn spinning, and spinning became very sort of a craft which we enjoyed very much. And from spinning, I mean, it's not only spinning, then there was other moments like music. Pandit Acharya Buddhadev used to be Acharya those days, heading the Gurukul, and he was a great scholar of Vedas, Sanskrit Pandit, and a person who just sort of embodiment of lots of arts and music.
But Rajan, you also can talk and hold discourses in Sanskrit.
I mean, of course, in Gurukul, in 5th, 6th standard only, students were able to speak in Sanskrit. So those days, yes, we used to have sort of a vrat that everybody will be speaking in Sanskrit. So we were doing that.
Rajan, after finishing this period at Gurukul, you moved to some other place. Then finally you came to JJ School of Art for painting. So all these things were preparation to weaving, or you did not know that you were going to be a weaver?
No, I really did. I know that when I start thinking of my past, then I think that once I did spinning, and which I enjoyed tremendously. Actually, I won the competition also once, spinning competition, Charkha Dangal, they used to call it. And
Dangal is a term applied to wrestling, doesn't it?
Yes, I mean, those days such terms were used like that, Charkha Dangal, the spinning competition. So, but later after my college education, I came to JJ, I did my painting, and even then weaving was nowhere. After doing painting, something was to be done for the living.
But after doing painting, you did mural, didn't you?
Yes, I did mural also. And then I went to Hill Wool Scheme, UP government posted in Almora. So there I was in between mid of weaving, but of course not knowing weaving.
Then who taught you weaving?
I wasn't very effective as a designer there, but then necessity was felt that I should learn weaving, and I started striving to learn weaving. I was very much willing to do something about weaving. And then I went to, I was sent to Indian Institute of Handloom Technology, Banaras, attached to Weaver Service Center. There I started learning weaving, and one Mr. A.K. Das was there. He had already written a book on weaving. So just
Have you read that book?
No, I did not read the book. I started normal book, Watson's book. He took and he started.
It's a standard text.
Standard textbook, and he started giving me this grammar of weaving, and I started working on loom.
Rajan, grammar is very important, wouldn't you say?
Yes, craft is very, very important to do any art. I saw once Larsen. Larsen was Jack Leonard Larsen is one of the most known textile designers from New York.
He did the textiles for our Indian aircrafts. This Indian Airlines, the seat upholstery cover is done by Jack Larsen.
Yes. So I saw him, that a person of that caliber, he wanted some weavers to do something, and they were not able to do. I saw it in Weaver Service Center in Bombay. So he sat on the loom, and the way he was handling loom was so beautiful. If a thread broke, he tied it so beautifully. I mean, the way he was handling, then only he could do so much of creative work later on. So I don't know. I mean, I had a good teacher. He inspired me, and I had enthusiasm to learn. So
you had first Mr. Das is a great teacher who helped you.
Yes.
Who actually helped you learn.
Actually, he taught me
closer. He taught you all the fundamentals. I think most important thing for any course is to know fundamentals. And I think that we lack these days. We are too much in a hurry.
I think
we try to pile up too many things in too short a time, too reluctantly, too half-heartedly, and therefore we end up with second-class products.
I don't know, but I think with me also, the 5-6 months I did work quite hard. Of course, I did work I don't say hard, but I enjoyed the work very much because.
How many hours did you work?
I really worked almost 12 hours. And the way he was putting the whole thing so simplified, systematic, so it was easy for me, and I was doing that. So that way, I finished my grammar of weaving, and then I became restless. I mean, just to do few, to new things, and then the career started from National Institute of Design to National Institute of Design.
Yes. So when did you establish your studio? In which year did you establish your studio?
Around 70.
70. So you started in 42 with some ideas of spinning. So until then it was a preparation.
It was, yeah.
So about 25 years of preparation before you actually plunged into weaving. So today, Rajan, you are weaving what? Cloth?
Actually,
or is it some particular thing that you are weaving?
Many varied things I am weaving. I am weaving simple cloth.
Yes.
I am weaving sort of very crafty material also.
I mean crafty material.
What I mean crafty material.
You've got a very peculiar connotation on that word.
Right from very beginning I learned weaving. Complicated weaves very much interested me. I triple weave, double weave. I used to try to do some paintings in weaving, and weaving is a very limited medium, only verticals and horizontals.
Yes.
So you don't have much of scope of going from these verticals and horizontals.
No, I think discipline of step incline, I think between warp and weft there is a stepped incline. So that, of course, I think limitation are your good friends.
Actually,
they are not prohibiting you. I mean, they are asking you to use your skills even further.
But now I think I realize it, that limitation is good, because my work is very simple now. After going, what I mean, that in the craft of weaving, I did try lino, double weave, triple weave. This is one of the examples, which is non-woven bag.
No, non-stitch bag.
Sorry,
I see no stitching there.
Non-stitch bag. So this only because the weaving as a craft I enjoyed very much. But later on my work was very much influenced with the Western works.
Yes. I mean, how would you say? I see a lot of inlay work done that is pure Jamdani. Or there might be certain amount of tapestry work from Goblet, France. So where do you think you score over others?
I don't know whether I scored over others.
No, let us say, but let's examine it that way.
But basically, as I told you that I am a painter. I did painting, and so I always wanted to come out of the regular weaving. So first, my earlier work were quite influenced from Western works, but later I saw this tree of life. I'm not only this tree of life, but I saw a sort of a shadow of a tree on the wall, and I liked weaving that. I wove that, and then I realized it's nothing very new what I'm doing. Of course, my source of inspiration was just quite new to me, or quite...
Rajan, I think you're always slow to discover yourself. So if you have discovered Tree of Life a little later, it doesn't matter. You have discovered yourself.
So Tree of Life was already being done in our Indian traditional, and probably all over the world.
I mean, even when that Bari at Ahmedabad, that stone, that is a Tree of Life.
This motif has been used
it is there in temples also. It is there in the mosque. It is there in so many places. Tree of Life is there everywhere. It is a fertility symbol, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally, earlier, they used to hang this tree of life hangings in the bedrooms in the Mughal times. So I'm glad that you brought out this traditional thing, because everybody is so much carried away by the West today that I feel today I might as well be living in London and I would be living in Bombay. So there is no fun. But apart from this tree of life, what else have you been doing? Do you weave gadda, or do you weave masnad or takiya or anything like that? That is totally ours.
Yes, I weave.
You may not be weaving saris, but that doesn't matter to me. Anything Indian?
Actually, as far as my regular weaving works are concerned, I don't know whether they are Indian or foreign influence, but my artwork, which I'm doing for the last few years, is very much Indian. Because I thought after learning certain craft like goblet, tapestry weaving, I thought why not weave my own masters, because this craft, this art, gobelin or tapestry weaving in Europe was used to weave wall hangings, big wall hangings, or then they started.
What is the biggest you have woven?
60 feet by 30 feet, which I did for Prabhay Hall in Ahmedabad.
Very good. Very good. What else do you want to weave now?
At present, I don't know, I have woven some Indian miniatures in the meanwhile.
Yes.
And
you have woven some pichwais also.
Pichwais also, quite recently I have done few pichwais. I found cows sort of forms, so I played those forms. And
Rajan, what do you do with vegetable dyes?
You see, as I told you that I was quite influenced with this tree of life, and then I discovered tree of life is being painted in kalamkari and with vegetable dyes. So in my weaving, I took those forms and the same type of effect I wanted to give in my weaving.
Yeah.
So I switched on to vegetable dyeing, and kalamkari has sort of a line to every form with the dark or the black. So that also I tried to give my hangings when I call them kalamkari, woven kalamkari.
Okay.
So I took that also, and my goblet weaving helped me sort of combining this tapestry weaving and this jamdani weaving. Jamdani is sort of extra weft weaving, which is used in saris and in other fabrics to make the figures, forms
much more articulate.
But to give the outline to that, I have taken certain craft from.
But this is particularly yours. This is your particular contribution.
I think it's not seen. I haven't seen
anywhere else. Oh, you don't have to feel shy about what you're scoring.
And the overhaul also double weft. I mean, extra weft twice. Extra weft is used to do the forms, but I'm using twice. I mean, sort of I'm combining goblet. I mean,
Rajan, where do you score in terms of carpets?
I have done some sort of funny carpets. I mean, or
what do you mean funny carpets?
I mean, I have quite played with this medium, pile carpet, flosa carpet.
Yes.
I have really.
You have woven, I understand, some leather carpets.
I have done leather carpets. I have done ribbon carpets.
What would be other thing that you have woven that others have not woven?
I have woven bricks, tiles, chips. And there's one house here in Bombay, Shreya's house. I have woven a wall hanging 6 feet by 24 feet.
Oh, yeah.
And actually the idea was initiated by you only, but it was very, very challenging. Putting tiles into weaving and the small chips. My loom also broke twice, but I could do that, and that I enjoyed.
Rajan, I hope you continue to enjoy. weaving because we continue to enjoy your work. Okay? I think we will see that your exhibition is a success. Sometime we'll like to see it again.
Architecture, to which I have devoted my life.
Deep in the woods, the only sounds to be heard are the sounds of nature. But here, in the laurel highlands of western Pennsylvania, among the wild flowers and rhododendron, stands a work of art. It is the most famous